Welcome back to another episode of The Case. This is Brittany Ashley.
Hello.
Who are you? What do you do?
I'm a writer, Buffy enthusiast. I identify as lesbian and queer, and that's pretty much where it ends.
I'm gay. I don't know that much about Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I'm sure you've noticed that like a ton of queer people love Buffy.
Yeah. Is there something to Buffy like using a phallic object to kill angry men?
The sexual relationships that she's had in the show, like they're all pretty different, and towards the end of the series, she's like drawn more towards something very violent because she's like hating herself basically, and she doesn't want to be alive pretty much.
This is hitting a little too close to home.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
Let's just start with like Slayer lore.
Hold on, I've got to interrupt.
No, please. It would actually make me feel comfortable if you held it the entire time. Buffy is the chosen one, which means that she is the only girl in all the world whose mission is to fight demons and vampires. She has this fucking responsibility that she didn't ask for, and all she wants is to just like do the dumb shit you do when you're in high school, but she can't because she has to like be out at a graveyard every single night.
Same. I feel like I'm more of who she would be hunting though.
If you grow up in, a small town, you being the only gay person kind of makes you feel the same way and makes you feel very alone in that sense. No matter how supportive and lovely her mortal, i.e. straight friends are.
I definitely refer to straight people as mortals.
Yeah. They'll never understand her struggle the same way the other way around. Like, she is alone on this fight.
I am the Dark Lord of Nightmares.
There's this element of Buffy being a different person during the day than in the night, because obviously like vampires and demons come out in the night for the most part.
That's a big metaphor for Grindr.
Yes, I think the queer
Grindr's
lifestyle.
The graveyard of gay life. Oh my God.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm just going around looking for men to stab. Jesus, okay.
Yeah. The whole thread of her having to come out to her mom as being a Slayer, and they choose the lines of dialogue for Joyce very particularly, where she's like, have you ever tried not being a Slayer? Like, I tried to march in the Slayer Pride Parade.
I'm a vampire slayer. Well, I just don't accept that.
Do you think I chose to be like this? Do you have any idea how lonely it is? How dangerous?
There's so much that has to do with the parents not understanding the complexity of you figuring out this identity, and they have to come to terms with it as well. Obviously also when she meets Faith for the first time, who Faith is another Slayer, the tension between her and Faith, it's like when you meet another queer person that you're just like, ooh, do I want to be this person or do I want to fuck this person?
Give us a kiss.
The way that Faith calls her girlfriend when she does the heart, the condensation in the heart. I mean, there's a lot there. We could talk about this for a very long time.
Did Buffy eventually then go on to college, meet a bunch of other Slayers, and realize that the Slayer that she had those feelings about wasn't that great in the first place?
I see where you're going, but no. Faith loves being a Slayer so much, a little too much. I think we all know gays like that, who just love being gay a little too much. Buffy treated it more as this is my job, this is my responsibility. So they just looked at being queer completely differently. I also don't think that it's entirely uncommon that the first relationship that you get into with someone once you're coming out is generally very toxic and unhealthy. I'm obviously talking about Buffy and Angel after, Angel loses his soul and he's jealous, and they sleep together, and then he turns into a fucking dickhead.
You made me the man I am today.
I know that when I first started dating women, the first relationship I was in was so shitty, but I was just I'm never gonna feel this for anyone ever again, because it took, 19 years for me to get to this point. I think that you will accept that shitty thing because you don't know if you'll ever get those good feelings again. But then you go on and you realize oh, I could feel this with people who aren't shitty, because I was or the Slayer was coming into her own a little, Then when she starts fucking Spike, it's like that's where like the violent shit comes in because she
Right.
hates herself, he hates himself. You know, who hasn't been there? Two
Wow,
people,
read me for filth.
like he was obsessed with her. He like had a Buffy bod that he was like fucking.
Oh,
he
yeah.
tried to rape her at one
Oh,
point.
wow, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
now it's all coming back. Are you saying that being obsessed with someone isn't the same as loving them?
Unfortunately, I have to say that. Yeah.
Take note, kids.
But it's also like these two people who like loathe their own identities. Is that not super common?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously with Willow and Tara, I mean, that's just like straight up gay. I think them being witches was like a little on the nose.
As a lesbian witch, do you feel like Willow was an authentic character?
She
Should
went-
she have had a wart on her nose?
She goes from being like this dainty little cute nerd to being a fucking powerful witch who might kill everyone and take over the world because she's addicted to magic and her girlfriend just got shot.
I do think it's really sweet that Willow meeting Tara was literally magical. And
Yeah.
like made her life magical.
Yeah. You know, they like share crystals and like pet a cat and all that shit. Having them dabble in Wiccan arts and obviously, you know, you get addicted to it, like getting addicted to,
Dick.
well, the other way. Well, it still could be.
Xander should be a subject on an episode of Queer Eye. What the fuck was going on with your
I
haircut?
think that there's a lot of toxic masculinity there, and then at the end they like try and make him feel better, where they're like, "You're like the heart of us, and you know you keep us grounded because you like do construction."
Is Giles gay?
Giles, I know what it is. Giles is her chosen family because her dad left them, and then Giles steps in and he's daddy. That's her chosen father.
Wow. I felt like there was a point after I came out as a gay vampire zombie witch, I thought about like all the responsibility and burden of being gay before being able to enjoy it. Did Buffy ever get to that point?
I really don't think so. I think that there was a few moments in the series where the possibility of her being able to lead a more normal life wasn't really attractive to her. Without the identity of being a Slayer and without this like responsibility, I feel like Buffy wouldn't even know who she is, and I don't even think she wants to interrogate what that would be.
If she got to live a normal life.
Right. I mean, obviously there's responsibility tied into it that are much higher stakes than just being queer, but
I don't know, dude.
she died in the end of season 5. She was in heaven. The people in her life pulled her
Right.
out selfishly, and she had to be alive and didn't want to be. She wanted to like be in
Right.
heaven.
I was also really depressed when I was brought back to life.
The takeaway for us could be that you don't have to be tortured by it. You don't have to be suffering. I think that she was also very afraid to ever ask for help. She always felt like it was her burden alone. I think that like we can learn to ask other people for help, trust that other people can like handle what we have going on, just minimize the suffering, find other people that are like you, because then when she found the potential slayers, it's like she didn't have to do the work of a million people. She got to like be a part of a team and take on this shit together.
Being gay doesn't have to just be about suffering, is the
Exactly.
takeaway from Buffy.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us.
This is the highlight of my life.
Can we follow you anywhere?
Yeah, you can follow me home. You can follow me at Brit27Ash on social media. I also have an Angel podcast that I host with Laura Zach. It's called Angel on Top.
Like this video if you liked this video. Comment, let me know like what other shit is gay and who else I should bring in to
I'll be
like
commenting on it.
tell me what else you think there's a case to be made for. Subscribe!